Welcome back, and we are in Proverbs chapter 5, verse 15. It says, drink water from your own cistern and running water from your own well. Should your fountains be dispersed abroad, streams of water in the streets, let them be only your own, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountains be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth. As a loving deer and a graceful doe, let her breast satisfy you at all times, and always be enraptured by her love. For why should you, my son, be enraptured by an immoral woman, and be embraced by the arms of a seductress? God has given you everything you need. Be satisfied with that. That's what Solomon's saying. Be satisfied with what you have. Drink from your own cistern, which is a well. Drink from your own well. Drink from your own faucets. And you'll be blessed. Everything you have, if you can be happy with what you have will sustain you and other people. But if you're going to be chasing after things, it will not sustain. It'll never be enough. You'll never have enough things that make you happy. That's why people become hoarders. They think things will make them happy, and they work to get things, and they hoard things, and they hide things away, and they have a ton of stuff, but guess what? They're never happy, and then they're on some TV show where people are making fun of them. But let not that be you, and not just with stuff, but with everything. It says that you should rejoice with the wife of your youth. Like God gave you someone to be with, and rejoice with that. Stop looking for another person. Like you're like, my wife doesn't satisfy anymore. I need to look somewhere else. Well, guess what? Maybe your wife isn't there so that she can satisfy you. Maybe she's there so that you can satisfy her. Marriages work both ways, and it's two people to work a marriage. But if one person's working really hard on the marriage, even if the other person isn't working this hard, it could still work because of the one person's selfless sacrifice. But a lot of times you're expecting the other person to be the selfless sacrifice, and you're just a consumer. And this world teaches us to be consumers. We're designed to be consumers because the more we consume, the more we buy, the more money people make. The more money people make, the more powerful they become, and power is really what they're going after in the first place. And so they're trying to turn you into consumers, and it's fine to consume things like food. I like consuming food, but really we need to be satisfied with what the Lord provides for us. And He provides for us through the free market system, but He also can provide for us in other ways as well. It's not that we can't have things, we just need to desire the Lord and trust in Him. And any desire that we have that's from the Lord is a good one. But when we try to fulfill that desire in other ways, that is sin. So we don't want to do that. Verse 20 says, why should you be enraptured by the immoral woman and be embraced by the arms of the seductress? It's like, why should you fall for this plot? It's a plot. You're smarter than this. Why would you do it? And when you teach someone something, you expect them to do well, and then the test comes and then they fail at it, and you're like, what? I taught you better than this. How come you haven't learned by now? And then whenever I think that about somebody, because I don't usually say that, but whenever I think that about somebody, I think, well, maybe that's me. Maybe I'm the one who hasn't learned by now, and I keep failing again at something that God says, how come you haven't learned this by now? I taught you better than that. Verse 21 says, for the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and He ponders all His paths. God ponders our paths. And He wants us to do well. His own iniquities entrap the wicked man, and he is caught in the cord of his sin. He shall die for lack of instruction, and the greatness of the folly he shall go astray. God sees all the possible outcomes for all the choices that we have to make on this earth. And He knows which one's the best one, so He's guiding us. Like, hey, do this, because then this will happen. He won't actually say because this will happen. He'll just say, do this, choose that, do this. And we're like, it's not as fun, doesn't look as safe, doesn't look as happy. But God says, no, it's really better. And if we trust Him and we choose it, we will see later on that it really is better than anything we could have had before. But we won't see that until we trust Him. And we won't trust Him until we take that step out in faith, saying, okay, because you said so, I'm going to do it. So trust the Lord and follow Him, and have a good day. I'll see you next time.